Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, I'm going to be covering Kurt Angle's WWE run from 2017 to 2019, which was his last. I'm going to summarize all the events from his return all the way to his departure, but I'm not going to go piece by piece because that would take like hours, and obviously you guys want to know how it went, so I'm just going to summarize it. If you guys do happen to enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more. And tell me down in the comments what you guys want to see next. I'm willing to, do any idea that you guys have. But without further ado, let's get started. So, Kurt Angle came back in 2017 after doing many years of being in the independents. He had left WWE in 2006, and this was his return 11 years later. He was entered in the Hall of Fame, and for many months, he was just focused on being a general manager. After WrestleMania, Vince McMahon announced him as the new Raw general manager. He did not get back to action until October of 2017 when he had a substitute for Roman Reigns at the TLC pay-per-view main event. It was going to be The Shield versus Braun Strowman, Kane, and the Miztourage of, The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. He substituted in and had his first match in WWE in over 11 years. Kurt Angle was showing that he still had it. Of course, not like before, because he had a lot of ring rust and he was away from the ring for a little while, but he was showing that he was capable of being an in-ring performer. He was taken away halfway through the match, so they had a fight 5v2, Rollins and Ambrose versus the five of them, but later in the match they betrayed Strowman, and Ambrose and Rollins got rid of Kane, so it was kind of a little more fair. And then afterwards, Kurt Angle came back and dominated, and he got the victory for his team. Very solid match for his first return. His next return was at Survivor Series 2017 when he joined the Raw team against the SmackDown team. Going into the match, he had tension built with Triple H over Kurt Angle choosing Jason Jordan, his son, instead of John Cena, and by son I mean kayfabe's son, obviously. So in the match, Raw mostly dominated over SmackDown, and the only good part was that you could see Raw and SmackDown go against each other, obviously, like see faces that you usually don't see. Like John Cena returns every now and then. It's cool seeing him there. Again, with Triple H barely wrestles anymore, so seeing him wrestle, alongside Kurt Angle and John Cena was pretty cool. Triple H screwed him over of getting the pinfall against Shane McMahon in the end. And that's kind of putting the seeds even more further after Triple H was the one who took out Jason Jordan out the team and inserting himself in. So that led the seeds to their WrestleMania match. In 2018, Ronda Rousey debuted in the WWE and she was on Monday Night Raw. And Triple H and Stephanie wanted her on her good side, but they were obviously trash talking behind her. That's when Kurt Angle found out and was telling her about it. And Triple H and Stephanie were mad that Kurt was trying to get her against them. But Ronda was not into playing these games that Triple H and Stephanie were playing, so she attacked them, and that's what led to the 2v2 at WrestleMania, which is another good match that you guys should watch. It was a good showing again by Kurt Angle, and Ronda was doing really well in the ring for being her first match in the WWE, so it's a good little gem for you guys to watch. In the end, Ronda made Stephanie tap out after a good match. Kurt Angle hitting the Germans, hitting the angle slams against Triple H. We even saw Ronda Rousey step up to Triple H. So it was a really good match. Stephanie even did well in her showing, and she barely wrestles either too. So after WrestleMania, Kurt continued being a general manager, and in the August 20th episode, Ronda Rousey actually attacked Stephanie McMahon and hurt her in kayfabe, obviously, and that's what led Kurt Angle to be taken off as general manager, and Baron Corbin was put in, which was not really a good time for Raw, to be honest. Baron Corbin was kind of annoying, but in a good way, I guess, because he or whatever. Kurt Angle actually came back into a battle royal that Baron Corbin made himself to get himself into Crown Jewel. He was under a luchador outfit and he won the match going into Crown Jewel to be in the Best of the World Cup or whatever they called it. I actually thought that the Best of the World Cup would have been a good idea, except for what they did, making Shane McMahon win and whatnot. That wasn't good. So heading into it, he was scheduled to face Dolph Ziggler, and that match wasn't the best, to be honest. Ziggler beat him, and he was just kind of there, really. They needed the star power for the Crown Jewel event. Afterwards, he continued his feud with Baron Corbin, now and then, appearing and whatnot. And it was actually in the December episode, I believe it was December 15th, when all the McMahons came out and said the authority was over. Baron Corbin still wanted to keep it, and they gave him a deal. If he could beat Kurt Angle, he would remain his job. But it turned into a 5v1 because all the people Baron Corbin screwed over came and went against him, and Kurt Angle got the win. Heading into 2019, it was announced that Kurt Angle was going to retire, and he was going to have his last run there, trying to have matches leading up to WrestleMania. And he actually chose his opponents being on Raw and SmackDown. He fought against the United States champion Samoa Joe, Chad Gable, AJ Styles, and old rivalries as well, you know, that he had in TNA and whatnot. The matches kind of showed that he was very slow in the ring. You know, he wasn't the Kurt Angle that he used to, and also that ring rust really didn't help. He wasn't in the best shape, so it wasn't, you know, the best for him. Leading into WrestleMania, people were speculating who Kurt Angle would fight, and many wanted it to be John Cena. And then it turned out to be Baron Corbin, because Vince McMahon wanted it to be this way, as Kurt Angle revealed in interviews. Since, you know, they were sparking this feud and it had been going through 2018, they wanted it to end at WrestleMania in the retirement match. And Baron Corbin actually retired Kurt Angle, which led into his victory in King of the Ring. So it was good for him in the most part. But for Kurt, I mean, the match wasn't really the best, so I wouldn't recommend watching that. But then, you know, Kurt Angle retired and he had this farewell tour, and he went out like he wanted to. So overall, Kurt Angle's last run wasn't necessarily the worst. It could have been better, obviously, if they would have booked him more. Kurt Angle talked about how maybe Vince McMahon didn't have that much faith and wanted to see what Kurt Angle could do. So matches I would recommend would be the TLC match with him, Rollins, and Ambrose versus, you know, the 5, and also the WrestleMania match with him, Ronda Rousey, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and I hope to see you soon.